about how did it happen and when were you first approached? These films take so long to make, especially the monster films like that. How soon did you get involved?
Well, thank you. That's so sweet to hear. And first off, hi guys. This is really an honor to be next to all of you and listen to you speak. And I don't feel worthy of it. So yeah, and thank you, Paul. That's so kind. Yeah, it was a trip. I mean, Phineas and I obviously are siblings and we grew up on the movies, and it was actually so we do all these like songwriting challenges, which I'm sure all of you guys do, where you kind of decide to do like kind of like a songwriting class in your own right. And it's something that we've done forever. And it's always helped of like, if we're kind of at a writing block point, or we just want to make something new or try something, whatever. And one of the main things we used to do was like, let's pretend to write a Bond song. And we would do it as a joke. We would not even as a joke, like as a lifelong goal of a thing that could never be possible. But the Bond franchise is so unbelievably iconic and so important in my life, and I think in most people's lives. I mean, Bond is like the biggest thing in the world, I feel, and there's nothing kind of bigger musically and cinematically, I feel. And it was something we would sit down and do. We would go, let's pretend to write a Bond song. Let's come up with Bond ideas, and we would write lyrics and melodies and chords, and it was a challenge we would put ourselves in, because we would like pretend we were like, role playing, being, in the movies with our music. And that's something we did for years, and we talked about it for years, and we we had no sense of ever being, ever having it be a possibility, literally in my lifetime. And there was kind of, I think it was the summer of 2019 where, or probably before that, we kind of told our team, they come up to you and they ask, like, is there anything you're interested in or whatever? And we, without any like thinking that it would actually happen, we were like, well, if there's ever any sort of opportunity for anything to do with Bond, like, please at least tell them we are interested, because it's our dream. I mean, it's our dream. And I think the conversation just like happened. Like it was talked about that there was going to be a new film, and it was Daniel Craig's last film. And they were thinking of having us try it out, like basically audition, because it's not just you get the job. It's like you got to make a good song and then you get it. And it was like the biggest deal in the world. Phineas and I have never been more excited about anything. We love Bond so much. It's such an important thing to us. Like it wasn't like, this is some movie that people think is cool. Have you seen it? No, that's fine. Just make a movie, make a song. It was really a big deal. Yeah. And Phineas,
yeah. Well, it's interesting because when you listen to this song, it's the levels, the way this song climbs into the depth of like life and death from the very beginnings. At first, you have that feeling of the pain. You go into the fact that it's about somebody that isn't there, and then you go up from there. So the levels of the song they're stunning. Can you talk a little bit about the meaning behind the lyrics? About how much of it comes right off the story, how much of it comes right in from advancing our awareness of the character, and how much of it comes off that page of what you're going to be writing about?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, all of what you just said was a big part of it. So we met Barbara Broccoli in like September of 2019, and she basically told us the kind of beginning plot. So like what happens at the beginning, where we are, like where the audience is by the time they hear the song in the film. And, we heard kind of that beginning plot line. And then she gave us one more piece of information, which was that, you know, the audience thinks and Bond thinks that he's been betrayed by somebody that he's put all of his trust in and you know, given up his life and job and all the things that he's called, you know, his own for so long. He thinks he's been betrayed. He thinks that she's been betraying him and backstabbing him. And that's what the audience thinks at the same time. But then she said, but he actually hasn't been. She was set up. And so that was like the main thing we were given. And that actually did so much of like knowing what we think is going on, but actually knowing what was really going on. So it was actually really fun to like write kind of in both of those viewpoints. And it there, I mean, Finneas, I don't want to speak like, I want to let you have some things to say, but it was a really, really exciting, difficult, incredibly cathartic and satisfying experience to write this song because of having that opening scene. We actually were sent the script of the like first scene before the music intro thing. And it was vitally important. I mean, it was the reason we wrote what we wrote. And Finneas, you can talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah. I just want to ask you before you answer that, Finneas, since you guys had practiced doing Bond themes for so long, what is it that makes a good Bond theme? Were there any specific franchise references that you alluded to for any inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, there's counting ours, there's 25 themes now. And I really love all of them for different reasons. I think we had a sort of a list of goals we were trying to achieve within ours that some of the other songs within the Bond history have followed, you know, guidelines. We really wanted the title of our song to be the title of the film. We wanted that to be the hook of the song. You know, we got lucky like Adele or, you know, Shirley Bassey did. We did, you know, the movie wasn't called Quantum of Solace or something really hard to write as a lyric. So that was kind of our number one goal. Number two, you know, we did want it to feel in that milieu that, you know, if you want to get really technical, just like the minor 9 chord, right? But, you know, just those chords that just scream, you know, espionage and that kind of world to you. And then I think the third thing was that, you know, Billie and I typically have no sort of playbook. We you know, write in different ways each day. And I think in this song's case, because of the interpolation of score and everything, melody was paramount to us. So we spent a lot of time working on melodies before we really had even a line. It was all sort of figuring out what melodies would sound really beautiful played by strings, what melodies would sound really, you know, reminiscent of sort of the feeling of the movie. And then it was about sort of, okay, now that we have read these 20 odd pages of the script, you know, how can we articulate what this character is feeling and going through? But, you know, it was challenging and really fun and really exhilarating. And I think for the same reason that it was challenging, it was really satisfying, which is that I think one of the many wonderful parts about songwriting is it can be super amorphous, and you can finish writing a song and think, well, I don't know, but, you know, that's what came out of me today. And I think, you know, writing a song in a kind of an assignment based, we're taking a crack at a Bond theme. You have a lot of sort of like parameters that you're hitting. And it was just a really fun process taking it there. And we recorded the entire thing on tour between weekends of Austin City Limits. We did all of Billie's vocals. That we couldn't get a quiet enough green room. So we went down into the basement of the arena, into the bus, into the bunk of the bus. We turned off the air conditioning on the bus. We turned off the lights that were humming. And then I just like sat in the other bunk in the pitch black, and Billie held the microphone in her hand. It's pretty awesome. It's really fun.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is so effective and important to the song is the space that you left, you know, that there's a certain amount of space between each thought, each foot, that is, it gives it a wonderful impact and all. I actually have a question for both of you that, and I don't know why, but I believe that our creative energy can go in any direction and all. And so you've had massive success with your songs and the like, but why do I get the feeling that one or both of you are going to want to wander off into visuals, and the phrase, what I really want to do is direct, comes to mind? Is somebody whispering to me, or
you are for sure correct. Yeah, that's so hilarious that you say that. Cinematography has always been something that caught my eye since I was a little kid. And, when I was a kid, I would steal whoever's camera I could find, any video camera, whatever I could find, somebody's phone, flip phone, whatever it was. And I would just like film anything I could. And I was always obsessed with framing and, having things be even on each side, and where, like since I was a kid. And I would, every song that I liked, the biggest part of it that I liked was the visual that I would think of for it. And I would be like, oh my God, I want to make a video to it. And I was like 9, and I would do it. I would make a little homemade stupid kid movie to a song that I loved, or to, just whatever. And I have been so in love with film, and so has Finneas. I think, I don't want to speak for him, but we are really, really big fans of the world of film. And I think that I just think there's nothing that compares to I don't even know how to put it. Like movies and film, there's something to them, and cinematography and lighting, and like where placement and scoring and all of the things, like there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. And what I love so much about the Bond franchise is, watching TV shows growing up as a kid, my favorite thing, and to this day watching TV shows, my favorite thing about them is the opening credits, whatever it is. And there's like a song, and it shows all the characters and whatever. That is something that sticks with you, I think. And with all your favorite shows, you have the song memorized, and all the parts, and you have it up here. And movies don't really do that, but Bond does that. And they never have not done that. And I was actually watching Casino Royale last night on the plane, and just, oh God, it just gets you. I mean, it's so powerful to have that opening James Bond ass scene, and then that unbelievable animated, like crazy shit, guns and shit, and this crazy Chris Cornell song, and that melody, and what Finneas was just saying about melody being so important to us. Like, first thing is, I was listening to that song yesterday, and it's like, arm yourself, for there's no one else who can save you. And it's just like, it needs that. And as soon as I heard that, I hadn't heard that song in a while, and I was listening last night, and I was just like, Bond, man.